We must bear witness. That is why we are here today, to remember and to bear witness, to make sure that humanity never, ever forgets. The Nazis massacred 6 million Jews. 2 out of every 3 Jews in Europe were murdered in the genocide. Millions more innocent people were imprisoned and executed by the Nazis without mercy. Denying the Holocaust is only one of many forms of dangerous anti-Semitism that continues all around the world. We've seen
that these facilities never, in fact, contained hydrogen cyanide gas. The reasons that I determined that these facilities were not or never could have been gas execution facilities are stated in my report. And it mainly is concerned with the design and fabrication of these facilities. The requirements necessary in the design of a facility that contains a highly explosive and highly poisonous gas. You must have gasketed doors, no windows, means of getting the gas in, means of getting the gas out, something for heating the gas and the air to constantly keep the right temperature, explosion-proof switches, lighting facilities, etc. None of these ever existed. We're talking about brick and mortar buildings without heat, with non-explosion proof lighting, without gasketed doors, in some cases without doors at all, and with crematories that opened very close or adjacent to the facility. If these facilities were used for gas execution facilities, if those persons operating the facilities didn't gas themselves to death at the same time that the executees died, they certainly would have been blown to bits when the gas exploded from a spark arc in a switch, the heat of a light bulb, or the gas approaching and getting into the crematory furnace. I mean, it's just ludicrous to consider that these facilities could have been used as gas chambers.
There had been lab tests conducted on the fabric of the so-called gas chambers at Auschwitz, which found no significant traces of cyanide, which is what set my mind thinking, I have to admit.
Leuchter claimed that the samples of concrete taken from the walls at Auschwitz gas chambers contained quantities of hydrogen cyanide that were too low to kill human beings, and thus he suggested the chambers were for delousing. But as it came out at the trial, the truth was the reverse. The real amount of hydrogen cyanide needed to kill humans is 20 times lower than that needed to kill lice. That's a convincing argument, isn't it?
It isn't. It's a very clever kind of argument used by the defence lawyers. But if you've got a gas
clever kind of argument used by you on a lot of occasions.
If you've got a so-called gas chamber, a room about this size in which allegedly 500,000 people have been gassed by cyanide, and you find there's no trace, no significant trace whatsoever of cyanide left in the concrete now, and there should be, because it turns into a very permanent substance called Prussian blue. That sets my mind thinking. And the tests have been replicated since then by other reputable scientists, and the same result has come up. And there's other reasons also for doubting this, not just the forensic tests. Suppose that particular statement is true.
But more people died on the back seat of Senator
than in that fake gas chamber at Auschwitz.
Well, you know it's
the one
not.
They show yes, the one they show the tourists was built in 1948.
You know it's not.
The Poles have admitted it was built in 1948, and nobody will hear it.
Repaired. Nobody said it was built for the first time.
It's a totally fake building. They built a chimney behind it, which isn't even connected to the main building.
A lot of Auschwitz was in ruins, as you know.
It's like Disneyland, and the only way you can get people to realise...
It was in ruins.
No.
There are plans that exist.
They have even Van Pelt.
You know that. There are plans to exist.
Even their £100,000 expert admits that what they show the tourists is fake. He's written a whole chapter about it.
So tasteless? Why so needlessly hurtful?
You have to be tasteless because
Why?
It is the
Why
only way to bring this
tasteless?
Extraordinary fact home to the world that what they show the tourists in Auschwitz is largely fake. They've destroyed the integrity. There's no doubt that tens or even hundreds of thousands of people died at Auschwitz from various causes.
And you don't have the slightest qualm using language like this, designed to hurt and wound people.
You have to,
Who else does?
One has
Nobody
to,
else
in this
does.
case.
You feel you have to.
Because over the whole of the Auschwitz complex has been put this glass cheese cover, so to speak, and no one's allowed to go near it and lift up the cheese cover and say, I want to investigate that, because they put this word Holocaust over the top, and they made it a criminal offence in many countries around the world, even to look at what happened in Auschwitz. And look what happened to me when I started questioning Auschwitz. And that should make people suspicious.
This is my pledge to you. We will confront anti-Semitism. We will stamp out prejudice. We will condemn hatred. We will bear witness, and we will act. As President of the United States, I will always stand with the Jewish people, and I will always stand with our great friend and partner, the State of Israel.
Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. On that day, many will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and cast out demons in your name, and do many mighty works in your name? And then will I declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness.